The WHO finally has given a nod there, a green signal to indigenously developed Covaxin. The nod is likely to give way for Indians receiving Covaxin to travel freely all over the world, besides, of course, opening up doors for exports and manufacturing of the Indian vaccine in other countries as well. Here's our detailed report.
Covaxin approved. It is a moment that the entire country was waiting for. A green signal for India's Covaxin given finally by the World Health Organization. This is the first homemade vaccine against COVID-19.
In the end, all is well, and we are very, very proud that an end-to-end indigenous Indian vaccine is now flying high globally.
After months of deliberations, assessments and studying data provided painstakingly by Bharat Biotech, the nod comes as a huge relief.
मैं आज ICMR के साइंटिस्ट, भारत बायोटेक के साइंटिस्ट और WHO को अभिनंदन देता हूँ.
So why was the approval by the World Health Organization just so important? An emergency use listing by the world body means Indians who have taken Covaxin can travel anywhere around the world without having to undergo quarantine. It means Covaxin will now be sold commercially. It's going to facilitate countries to expedite regulatory approval processes to introduce the vaccine. Also, Covaxin will reach low-income countries through the COVAX facility, through UNICEF and through PAHO. The WHO has said in a tweet that Covaxin was found to have 78% efficacy against COVID-19 of any severity 14 or more days after the second dose and is extremely suitable for low and middle income countries due to easy storage requirements. 23 vaccines are being looked at by the World Health Organization for approval, out of which only 7 vaccines have got an emergency use listing. Bharat Biotech's Covaxin is the 8th vaccine to get emergency use listing to be used to protect against COVID-19. Sputnik V, for example, is a vaccine that was rolled out much before Covaxin, but still has not got the World Health Organization's emergency use listing, speaking volumes of the fact that Covaxin is not only safe, but also provides protection against the infection. Bharat Biotech has said in a statement that the emergency use listing approval by the WHO validates the international safety and quality standards of Covaxin, and Bharat Biotech is motivated to mitigate the worldwide pandemic.
भारत देश की इनोवेशन, साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी आज विश्व देशों के बीच में रखा गया है. आप सबको भारत बायोटेक की तरफ से अभिनंदन करते हैं.
The head of the company, Dr. Krishna Ella, has said validation by WHO is very significant towards ensuring global access to India's widely administered, safe and efficacious Covaxin.
It is a momentous occasion for Indian innovation, Indian entrepreneurship, Indian startup and Indian science. As a scientist, I pray that India's innovation is starting and it's going to boom as we go along.
The EUL authorization for Covaxin will enable us to contribute to accelerating the equitable access of COVID-19 vaccine and the access to a vaccine globally, thereby addressing the current public health emergency. The process of reviewing the data started in July 2021. The approval more than 3 months later, raising questions on why the delay.
We are in the process. So we are doing whatever the WHO wants it. We are fulfilling all the requirement. It's a process of the regulatory system. So we need to understand. काम हो रहा है. Yes. And WHO पूरा question क्या पूछ रहा है, हम लोग answer दे रहा है.
But the approval has not been easy. Far from it. Prime Minister Modi's G20 summit and his meeting with the WHO Director General, Dr. Tedros, seems to have provided the nudge that was so required for urgent assessment and use for the vaccine that India's Prime Minister too has been administered with. The Government of India now wants to ensure that this vaccine reaches as many low-income countries as possible, and for that efforts will now be towards ramping up production in a big way. In New Delhi with Milan Sharma, Sneha Mordani for India Today.
Now, the World Health Organization's nod to emergency use authorization for Bharat Biotech's Covaxin comes as a big boost to the BJP government. The approval has silenced the opposition and naysayers who were questioning the country's vaccine program. Let's have a look.
On the eve of Diwali, India has one more reason to celebrate. When WHO approved Bharat Biotech's Covaxin, giving it a global recognition. The emergency approval is a shot in the arm for India and recognition of the country's vaccine research capability. The UN agency said Covaxin met all standards of protection and that it is suitable for people above the age of 18. The vaccine should be administered at a gap of 4 weeks. WHO said the effects of the jab on pregnant women remains uncertain. Covaxin has shown 78% efficacy and is easy to store, making it suitable for low and mid-level income nations.
We at Bharat Biotech are grateful to the Honorable Prime Minister and many respected people who took the Covaxin to instill the confidence in Indian science.
WHO's emergency approval comes just 3 days after Prime Minister Modi meet with WHO chief on the sidelines of G20 summit in Rome. The approval also silences political rivals of Prime Minister Modi who have been questioning the country's vaccine program. 2 weeks ago, when India marked administration of 1 billion doses, the Congress had picked on the WHO delay, questioning if there was a defect in Covaxin.
लाखों भारतीयों ने भारत बायोटेक का वैक्सीन लगाया इसलिए कि चॉइस ही नहीं है, अस्पताल में जो वैक्सीन दी उसे वो लगवानी पड़ेगी. नाउ दे कांट ट्रेवल अब्रॉड क्योंकि ना WHO ना दुनिया का कोई और देश भारत बायोटेक की वैक्सीन को मंजूरी नहीं दे रहा.
Congress General Secretary Mallikarjun Kharge said that Covaxin approval was pending due to diplomatic delay, which was a proof of failed leadership by the Prime Minister. He also questioned India's image on the global stage. The WHO stamp of approval is a boost for the BJP. It demolishes Congress attacks on the Modi government over Covaxin. Bureau Report, India Today.
And on that note, it's a wrap on this edition of the Bulletin. For other news and updates, you could log on to indiatoday.in. You could also download our app for more. Thank you for watching.